It's the first edition. It's the inaugural edition of Danny and Cello. I am Danny Williams, Marcello Romano, the sports paisan, right here to my left. Hey, Cello.
What up, Danny?
How are you?
Good, man. Good.
You look great.
So do you, Danny.
Shucks. All right. We got so much stuff to talk about. We're going to get a ton in a small amount of time. The middle of training camp, it's here. It's happening. We're right in the midst of it. It's like we wait forever for training camp to get here, the OTAs and the mini camps. And now it's like, we got a preseason game this weekend, right? So Sean Payton is the gift that keeps on giving, Cello. I'll tell you, this guy's not afraid to speak his mind, to say just like some of the most outrageous stuff. Okay? And yesterday he gave us a couple gyms, a couple lattes in. He says that Bo Nix, Bo Nix is going to be, Cello, a top 4 or 5 quarterback in the NFL in the next 2 years. So
I'm going to stop you there because I didn't hear in the next 2 years. If you go back and read it, when we're referencing the report from Charles Robinson from Yahoo, right?
Yeah, he gets all the good stuff.
Well, I think Kay Adams is going to be like, what? How did he get all this stuff? That's my job. But I would say is he's going to be a top 4 or 5 quarterback in the league. Is like, if you go back and really break it down, I don't even know that he's waiting for that. If he's going to be a top 4 or 5 quarterback in the next 2 years, he's already talked to people about this being a Super Bowl contending team now, or that they have legitimate contenders for it, which is crazy for us to even really think of.
If you're the third best quarterback in your own division, how are you one of the 4 or 5 best?
That's your opinion.
That's just the reality of the kind of the world that we live in right now, especially all the quarterbacks within the AFC. Why is Sean saying this kind of stuff? Why?
Well, I don't know, but I know I can tell you what, Broncos country is eating it up because we've been desperate for, like, you and I are around the same age. We have not seen like what we saw for almost a decade of just subpar Denver Bronco football.
Yeah.
And we finally got some, positivity going with us first last year, getting back into the postseason for the first time. Is it a bit premature? Because I think, like, even a couple months ago, you and I are on the radio saying, yeah, I'd like them to make another playoff run. Maybe they have a chance to get to the AFC Championship. Now your head coach is throwing it out there on blast, putting a lot of expectations, which I think is great. I don't know that you need to let everybody know about
Cello,
it.
I don't know if it's great. I don't think it's so great.
Wow, Danny of 10 years ago, I can't imagine you trying to be like, oh, I'm not that good yet.
I've had 4 kids since then. I'm potent. Okay? So here's what I think, Cello. I think this is too much too soon. I don't know why Sean is saying I have it 6 times in my career. I've had a team I thought can win a Super Bowl. A couple of those teams went to the NFC Championship and got bounced by the Vikings, right? And then he wins one. This is the 7th team. Why are you saying this? It's almost like a little bit too much too soon. It's like too much too soon. It's like Cello. We had a great...
He fell in love on the first or
we
second
just took
date.
her out, Cello. We had a beautiful night, okay? We laughed. We had a dinner and a drink.
And
we
then
went putt-putt.
He went swingers on him, right? He left her 30 messages. She's like, yo, chill. And he's like, yeah, but I think I love you already.
And I'm not drinking Marlowe. Hey, if the girls want to drink Marlowe, we're drinking Marlowe. Cello, it just seems like it's too strong. It's a little bit too strong for me. And I like that Sean is... Remember, he was like the young McVay cat all those years ago, the innovative young guy.
Yeah.
Now he's got to be one of the oldest. We'll check it out here. He's one of the oldest head coaches in the NFL. So I don't know if this guy, Sean Payton, has nothing to lose or if this guy has everything to lose, because there's a lot of legacy on the line for this guy. He's not going to no Hall of Fame yet.
Why do it?
Why say this stuff?
Yeah, well, I get
That's
it.
what I'm saying. It's a big target on your back.
Behind closed doors, and that you're setting an expectation for your young team that you have a lot of belief, and there's a ton of potential within what they have built together on this roster. But why would you make this? And I'll give it this: like, there's a lot of people nationally, Danny, that are starting to get on the Broncos train, like Colin Cowherd, Chase Daniel, a bunch of these different guys that are saying, "Oh, yeah, watch out for them." Dan Patrick, I think, even recently.
Yeah.
But this is different. This isn't like they're saying, "Watch out for them to contend in the AFC."
Shouldn't Sean Payton be saying basically like, we need to close the gap on the Bills and the Chiefs and start competing for playoff wins? He said it. home games, playoff home games. And he this was just like days ago, where he said, let's kind of lower the temperament. Dream your dreams. Dream big dreams. Okay?
Yeah.
But keep it real, be realistic. And then he just says 48 hours later, he gets, he's feeling himself. Colin Cowherd's feeling the Broncos. A couple people are putting it out there, and it seems like he's taking the bait a little bit. What's the Top Gun lie about writing checks here?
You don't write checks that you can't cash.
Okay, well, I'm just getting a little bit worried here. But again,
let me ask you this then.
Ask me, hey, AMA, ask me anything.
I'll ask you this because it's like, and I told you as Broncos country, I think people are desperate for this kind of, bravado, brashness. Like I get, people aren't opposed to it. I think maybe a few people are worried taking it the way you are. But most of Broncos country, you love oldies, right?
Do I?
There was a song back in the oldies. We're the same age, so these are older. I don't know if Chavi knows what this is, but wishing and hoping and thinking and praying.
Yeah, Chavi wasn't even a fetus.
Is that what it is, or is this legitimate that this team, if they go out and stay healthy and perform at the level that they can or they expect to, is it legitimate for him to say it, or do you still think it's premature for him to go out and put these type of expectations on a team that has a second-year quarterback?
The beauty of what we're doing here, like listeners and Chavi and anyone who has a chance to kind of catch us, is this thing here at this place is like 10, 12, 15 years in the making from when we were doing radio as young stallions many years ago, okay? So we're from Colorado. We're townies, bro. Okay, we're not from Syracuse like all these guys. We're from Chicago. If you cut us open, we bleed orange and blue. It'll pour out of us. That's the truth. Okay, so I, as a Broncos fan, can't just go to they're competing for a Super Bowl yet. I'm not there yet, and I'm kind of not close yet. I think I'd be very satisfied if they could run back 10 wins, Cello, improve statistically, have a run game, go win a playoff game, knock off Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, one of those kind of powerhouses. That's the next step, because we know they jumped 2 steps last season. They went, it's like
Hubert.
I mean, really, man, it was just unbelievable what they did, all things considered. The slow start to finish the season with 10 wins, it's unbelievable what those boys did, okay? But I think I'd be very satisfied if they were to run something back the same. And in 2026, Cello, in 2026, that's when the Broncos are championship contenders.
Let me ask you this. He said that he's had 6 teams that he thought could win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
One of them's obviously the 2009 team that went on to win. They beat Peyton Manning and the Colts in the Super Bowl. I think he's had 3 other teams that were 13-3. I'm assuming he's referring to them. There was one year that they were 12-4.
Okay.
I'm not talking about his suspended year. That one doesn't count. Which one of those teams could this team beat?
Could this team beat?
If he really believes that they could win a Super Bowl, this team, that it's not too early to be talking about it. Could they beat that 09 team?
It's weird because we don't want this first show to be like downer Bronco, takes, because it's not. I feel like we just kind of let's keep it real here. Will Peterson thinks they're winning 13 games. That's just too strong. That's just too strong. And what you just made me think of is the division, let alone the conference. I don't know how the Broncos are 13-game winners when we know, and I think we could all believe, the Chiefs and the Chargers are both double-digit winners again. So if the Broncos are double-digit winners again, it might only take 11 or 12 games to win this division, for one. And then just looking at the offenses, like the well-oiled machines as a whole throughout the AFC, that even includes the tier-down teams like Tua and the Dolphins and, some of these other, the Bengals. I don't know how the Broncos kind of jump all those teams quite yet. And to maybe take a turn here, while it's relevant, Micah Parsons. Okay, Micah Parsons.
Uh-oh.
If the offset of not having to give 3 or 4 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks and mortgage your entire future on Micah Parsons is that Bonito factor. If you can cash in Bonito, a first-round pick, 2 seconds, and a player or two, depth player or two they like, a package like that, for them to send him to the AFC out of the conference? I heard a top candidate was like the Commanders. Why would they want to send him to the Commanders? Would you entertain something like that if the centerpiece is essentially Bonito for Parsons and
to
pieces?
get him here?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In a heartbeat. And especially if you're going to go out a day or two later and say, hey, this team, I've coached championship teams. I've coached 6 that I thought could win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And this is my 7th. If you're going to lay that out there, it's an easy question to answer. Who's better?
Yeah.
Parsons or Bonito? Answer it.
It's Parsons all day. He's done stuff through his first 4 years of the NFL that the 4 guys in front of him are Reggie White, DeMarcus Ware. I mean, it's like the group.
It's a simple question to
It's 4
answer.
Hall of Famers. He is so special. He can only be comped to the guy who was taken before him in that same draft in Patrick Surtain. Micah Parsons is a top 4, 5, 6 defensive player in the league. He's on Hall of Fame. He's on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
Yeah.
So what the Broncos have done beautifully.
So you do it.
In a heartbeat. What the Broncos have done, Cello, really beautifully is maturated like at this proper rate of who they really are. They didn't go out there and get T. Higgins and to make a splash, kind of signing.
Maturated the same thing?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm trying to figure it out. The matured. I think you could have stopped at matured. I don't know that you needed to add.
I was trying to add a little style, class, and sophistication to the show here. Cheese, a little vino. Come on.
I scored a 720 on my SAT verbal, all right?
I just think that this guy he's worth it. He's worth kind of mortgaging a future, and he's the guy who can speed up the process, close the gap, and be, your difference maker. Again, he's Von Miller-esque. He's very special and very unique, and I would throw my hat in the ring. They can get king's ransom, and you got to pay him. But if Nick Bonito is wanting 90 cents on the dollar or 88 cents on the dollar of what Parsons will get, of what Myles Garrett will get. Well, I'm not
goes
so
back
sure
to whether
Bonito.
or not you believe that this is a Super Bowl team. And I also get the other side of the argument. Like, why are you going to mix up something that's working so well? Because the culture that Sean Payton has built here, which I think I don't even know that he's getting enough credit. Because if you just look at one player, the way he flipped Cortland Sutton around after last year, you remember the end of the year when Russ was gone and he got benched and Cortland was basically saying goodbye on social media. For him to flip that around and his mindset just being a veteran on this team and a leader with a young quarterback, and then for it just to kind of follow through suit this summer, like the way that their contract negotiations weren't a mess between him
Sean,
and Zach Allen.
We started the show with kind of talking about Sean a little bit, and is it too much too soon? This guy served up to a master class in 2 years. Kind of found a way to make it work with Russ where you're still competitive, save face, and have reputation, yet blame it all on Russ. Get Russ out of here. One of the worst deals in the history of the league. Roll the dice on Bo Nix. That's a rolling of the dice. That's no sure thing. He's the 6th quarterback in a draft. It was feeling desperate. It was kind of feeling like, oh, man, well, if we don't take one now, someone's going to jump. We got to take a guy. It felt like they're just going to take a guy.
Well, not only that, but he came out and told everyone we're better at most.
Oh, yeah, we're better. Luckily, we're better than everybody else at the draft. So
picking this stuff.
Good for you, bud, as John would say, right? So, no, Sean Cello is why he's feeling himself. It's why he's saying we're a Super Bowl contending team. It's why he's saying Bo Nix is going to be one of the 4 or 5 best quarterbacks in the league in the next few years. I could appreciate him putting himself out there like that, because I'll say this right now, he's not getting into the Hall of Fame. Say the Broncos went to the playoffs 10-7 next year, went 9-8 the following year. I think people would start to fall out of favor with Sean, and maybe you want O'Connell kind of McVay young stallion in here kind of dude to come in here and coach the team. Well, I would say I would say that Sean's got a lot of legacy on the line here. If he wins a Super Bowl with this team, goes even to another Super Bowl with another franchise. For one, a coach in the history of the NFL has never won Super Bowls with two different franchises. If he does that, you might jump past Mike Shanahan. You might jump past Tom Coughlin, all these guys, and Sean Payton might become a top 10, 7, 8 coach in the history of the NFL if he's able to win another championship with
Danny,
this prized crown jewel franchise.
You can wish in one hand,
okay, and poop in the other,
and see which one fills up first. I get he wants to do that for his legacy, but it goes back to the question: are we?
What's the question?
Putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah,
I mean, because listen, what do we say? You brought up where they are, even just in the AFC. Josh Allen has had those postseasons where it's like, dude, I can't get over the hump. Lamar Jackson, certainly. Neither one of them even played in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we're just going to leapfrog those two teams.
That's a great call. That's a great call.
Oh, the Broncos just... And if they are able to steal one early like that, like Tom Brady got an early one, right?
Well, again, Jim Kelly and Dan Marino... Jim Kelly, how many opportunities did he have? Dan Marino got an opportunity, went to a Super Bowl very early in his career in the second year, I think, and then never had a chance to go back. So is Bo Nix going to somehow kind of jump over Allen or Lamar Jackson in that realm and kind of, steal one, so to speak? It could happen. But again, that's
two guys.
Task. That's a big order, man.
That's just those two guys. You're not mentioning Joe Burrow. Patrick Mahomes.
No, CJ Stroud. There's guys. Listen, when Tua's healthy, he's throwing for 300 yards a game, and they got track meet out there with those Dolphins offense. We know that.
I mean, I don't know if you've seen the most recent power rankings.
Well, of course I have, but why don't you tell the listeners about it?
And I just looked at this today, so it's fresh in my mind.
Okay.
But all those teams that we're mentioning are top 5 teams, right?
Yeah.
We're just talking about the AFC. We're not even mentioning the Eagles, who look like they're going to remain a powerhouse
in this schedule this year.
Yeah,
Eagles, Jordan Love, and Green Bay, the Commanders, Jaden Daniels. That's going to be a great game because that's going to be one of those.
Your Cowboys,
this is me. I hate the Cowboys.
But what I'm saying is, I don't know how we can just leapfrog all these teams that have been putting it together.
I agree.
There's another one. Look at San
further
Francisco.
Along in the process. You're saying a little bit.
Yeah, you got to. And what we always discuss this. Do you have to earn your stripes? Do you have to go through those postseason blunders to try and feel to be even the 96
I mean, look
Broncos.
at what the Bills and Josh Allen have gone through.
Yeah.
Look at
to be right on the doorstep.
Cello, look at Lamar Jackson. Look at Lamar. I mean, he's a different player in the playoffs in all the bad ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a tall task for the Broncos to do. You know what? To get to double digits again. I think that if we're taking those proper steps to becoming a Super Bowl team, and you're not stunting your growth by adding improper free agents, overpriced guys, someone else's problem sometimes, making trades that are going to really mess with the chemistry and the cohesion that you've created. 2026 is the Super Bowl year, because that's when, if everything goes right this year, you can go have you a DeMarcus Ware, TJ Ward, trade for Aqib Talib or whatever, and go get you my guy, Emmanuel Sanders, who's going to join us sometimes on this show. It's my guy there. 2026. 2025 is about growth. 2025 is about the maturation of Bo Nix, him staying at and entering that 30 touchdown club. I think there was only 5 guys who were through for 30 touchdowns or more last year. That's rare air. No one's throwing for 50 or 55 Peyton and Tom were back in the day. The defenses kind of have caught up, the Fangio defenses. So I think it's about just the growth of the team as a whole. And then 2026 we can talk about Super Bowl. Give me a quick one on that, and then we got some quick takes for you.
I would just say that listen, man, if no one here in Broncos country would shy away from that.
Yeah.
You always say, you like to say, we know what it looks like.
Feels like, smells like, tastes like.
We've seen it. We've experienced it.
Yeah.
No one would shy away from it. I think, which is a lot of people are do we need to pump the brakes on trying to give ourselves a little too much credit before it's been earned yet? And I don't know if that's what I don't think a lot of people in Broncos country really think that. I think people like that he came out and said it. Now you have to go out and perform. The pressure now at this point is Bo Nix, that maturation you're talking about.
Yeah.
that takes it to another level for him. It's like you're putting these expectations out on these guys, and you've had these conversations behind closed doors, so you know what the expectation is and where they want you to be and where they think you can get. I love the belief in it. I think
Me too.
maybe that could have stayed just within the locker room, and then when they surprise people, be like, I've been saying this all along. I've had this belief in this team since March.
I agree. And I think the theme of maybe of the show is like too much too soon. Let's be careful, okay? But I mean, like, I feel there. I want to move on, but you made me think
you
of something.
can't tell him how to love, though.
Too much.
I mean,
The heart wants what it wants.
Yeah, like,
if you believe it in your heart, Cello,
You can't
how can
tell
you be
him.
wrong? You know, so
listen, man, he wanted to show up at Bo Nix's house on the night of the draft and sneak up behind the couch and be like, "We're picking you. I love you.
I've always loved you. I've been
I
watching
like you better than everyone else." So I mean, he has a lot of confidence in this guy.
Yeah, I just the bust factor and bust rate for the Broncos out is low. Like the floor has been risen. Okay, they're not a 5 or 6 or 7 win team anymore. I think people believe if everything was to go wrong, you had another couple Greenlaw injuries to really important kind of major pillar guys, like the pillar guys. I like to say, like they're holding it all up. If you lose too many of those guys, your season kind of crumbles. It's about staying healthy for sure. The depth, they're still evolving when it comes to depth. I mean, they got 22 solid starters, now. Yeah, it's just about being healthy. How far can he take these guys? The wide receiver room, how those guys grow, what you can get out of the running back room. The tight end room is totally, evolved. It's all good stuff. These are like the Broncos are just, you can see it. You could see the progression and the ascension.
Listen, man, we're not even talking about how much the offense has struggled against this defense.
Well,
so
this
now
might be the best defense in the league, though.
One way to look at it is like that defense is that good.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to be in that conversation of Super Bowl, you got to have better days, throughout camp. And maybe that all comes as they head to San Francisco and we see what it's going to be like against a different opponent and not going against this defense that a lot of people have high praise for. And up until basically the last month and a half last year, was like the mainstay for the team. So it'll be interesting to see him watch.
2 quick takes, and we're going to wrap this show up, okay? It's been a good one.
Yeah.
Chavi, you're doing a great job. Appreciate you. Cello, 2 things. Your stars or starters in the preseason game. Sean said the plan is, and he's, his history says, I will play my stars and my starters in the preseason for just a little bit. He said also, we're soon to have just 2 preseason games, and you'll lose a third one. Just your thoughts on, would you play your stars in preseason games? And your stars means to me your top like 10 or 8, maybe most important guys.
I think you have to.
Okay.
With the changes that have come down with the NFL since even like when you and I were younger, when they were having 2-a-days, there was 4 preseason games. Like, it's just different now. They were able to tackle in practice. That's kind of, it doesn't happen as much anymore. I mean, I was listening to the guys on the way here today saying like, hey man, I was shocked they had pads on today.
Yeah.
Like, we never heard that stuff going up in the past. So yeah, you have to play them, but you also have to be cautious with it. Injuries can happen at any time though, which is, I don't know what your take is now.
Yeah.
I remember Danny from 10 years ago.
What was that take?
Well, you were saying, get out of there. Don't play them. But
yeah,
if you don't get those hits and you don't have those feelings, how do you get prepped for when it starts happening for real?
Guys, I don't play my top 10 guys 1 second in the preseason. I suit them up. I game plan them.
Why do you even have them out of practice then?
Yeah, well, because I get Cello. If Benito, Zach Allen, Cortland Sutton, Dre Greenlaw, Surtain, let's see here, Jonathan Cooper, Bo Nix, 2 or 3 pieces on your offensive line, Quinn Miners, Garrett Bowles. That's like 8, 9 guys there. If any one of those guys goes down in a preseason game after the loss of Dre Greenlaw, who I think was really, quick take on Greenlaw, if the Broncos are a 11, 12 game winner, if they're like winning playoff games, it only happens with Greenlaw. Living up to the hype, the emotion, the heart and soul. So you already lost that guy temporarily, and we don't even really know to the extent of that injury. But Cello, these guys are so important to the overall success. I don't care if it takes them a week or two in the regular season to get calloused or beat up a little bit or feel that pain. I don't play them at all. Can't do it.
Well, I mean, when you're talking about a competitive AFC like we are,
Yeah,
and the schedule that you already
they're
alluded
too important.
to,
I can't.
so do you think they get past the Titans? Who's week 2? Is it the Jets?
They've proven last year that they beat all those lower teams, 10-2 against bad teams, 0-6 against like the Burrows, Herberts, Mahomes is of
They'll
the world.
play, but it'll be limited. And I think Sean knows
Okay.
it as well. It's not like you're asking them to go out there and go through the full first half and into the third
Last
quarter.
one. We're going to wrap this bad boy up. Bo Nix posted a what I call thirst trap video on YouTube, just of what he was doing in the offseason, some working out stuff, the grind. Just it was kind of cool, actually, because he's not like Mr. Unlimited, putting videos out every single day of everything, every drip,
Here comes the
every,
airplane.
every drip of sweat coming off of him. But no, Bo Nix is talking about even stuff like he doesn't like doing that his dad made him, run track in high school for the work, and he still runs sprints. He's putting that work in. It's the work you kind of want to see. Just your thoughts on that kind of stuff. And is there a little, and we don't have too much time, we'll save for the next one, is there a little John Elway? We've been trying to find comps for Bo Nix, and I said like Baker Mayfield a little bit, or like better.
Ouch.
He threw 41 touchdowns.
Yeah,
He's
I know,
an MVP.
but-
But I mean, like the body type and the swag.
I think what everyone wants to hear is Drew Brees.
That's just different, though. They're just different
I
characters.
think he looks more like Drew than.
Yeah, but Nix will tuck.
Except for the
third,
point
fourth
that-
progression, he'll tuck it
Oh
and
yeah,
run.
he'll run. And
Nix ain't running. Hey, you ain't going nowhere.
Drew
Breeze.
may have done that had he not lost his shoulder back when he was in San Diego against the Broncos. By the way,
There's no
But-
pull Elway in Nix.
yeah, I guess so. But as far as like, I don't think I'm watching Elway do what'd you call it, a thirst trap video.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but like
It's sexy time. Explosions.
Is this a book of spells, Gypsy? Like, no, I don't. I mean, I don't know why.
Yeah.
We've seen it get kind of cringe,
Yeah.
especially with number 3
So
when he
you
was
liked
here.
him behind the scenes, not knowing what he was doing. You rather have that
Yes.
out of your quarterback. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
An
like,
old school kind of.
yeah. Well,
I mean, that's the brand, though, bro. It's like
wonder-
the brand.
I don't think like for what reason we should expect our starting quarterback,
Yeah.
which is the most important position of all professional sports.
Well,
that they're putting in work, especially if you're going to be a
Cello,
quarterback in Denver, Colorado.
I'll say this. I think to what you're saying
Give you
is
the names.
I think Nix could be doing some commercials. He could be at every Dick's Sporting Goods and Shill's grand opening doing stuff and trying to brand out and make extra coin. We haven't seen a lot of that at all. Actually, he skipped the Pro Bowl to go continue to work, right? Which I thought, go experience a couple Pro Bowls before, then we can, skip them. We'll go check it out, see what's going on. I'm
So you like it.
Hiki. Come on, want to lay me.
You can't say the next part.
Sorry. Let's wrap. Let's wrap the Danny Cello show up.
All right.
Good job. Appreciate it. Chavi, we couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back on Thursday for another one. Training camp right in the midst of it. We're actually kind of turning the corner on the back 9 now, and we'll catch up on that. For Marcello Romano, I am Danny Williams. We appreciate you guys, and we love you guys. Good night, Sheila.